Is Chas McCormick a Houston Astro on August 1st?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dusty likes them. Dusty keeps guys around too long that he likes. It doesn't matter if they perform well or not. And, of course, he had 3 hits last night. But Dusty keeps guys he likes. And it doesn't matter. Your Daily Rayleigh was absolute daily dog poop.
Everybody's Daily Rayleigh.
For a majority of the season until he figured it out. But you know what? Whether he was dog poop or he was good, Dusty was keeping him around. That wasn't anything up for discussion. He wasn't going anywhere. He plays favorites a lot. Chas is a favorite. It does. If Chas, every now and then, if he pulls one of these games out, like every now and then, I was thinking about it. Siri, as good as he is defensively, if he hits a home run or does something where he can steal a base and do something, then the platoon system is working, that they're getting something out of that position offensively.
Who does Dusty Baker like more, Jose Siri or Chas McCormick? Because Jake Myers is going to come back at some point. He's getting closer and closer to a rehab assignment. He's the Astros are hoping that he's going to be the answer in center field going forward as pretty much the everyday starter if he can keep his health. You're going to have to make a move with one of those guys.
You maybe and maybe not, right? Because you've got guys that can play multiple positions, and if you believe that your ultimate utility guy is Diaz because he can play infield and outfield, and he becomes somewhat what Marwin was a couple of years ago, then maybe you don't need as many. You can. There's
one guy has to go when Myers comes up, and there's 3 names. It's Chas McCormick, it's Jose Siri, and it's Mauricio Dubon. It's one of those 3.
Dubon's gone.
See, I started to talk myself into that watching that game yesterday because I do believe now Dubon's a Dusty favorite too. I think of those 3 guys, if we're allowing Dusty to make the decision, which we know that James Click's not. James Click's going to do something outside of Dusty Baker's peripheral,
right.
Like when he traded Miles Straw last year and let Dusty know after Miles Straw cleaned out his locker. I'm just assuming. It's going to have to be one of those guys. He likes Jose Siri, loves Jose Siri. I think Jose Siri would be the man, I don't know. I like Jose Siri as a backup outfielder. I don't want Jose Siri starting 100 games. I'd rather Chas McCormick start 100 games over Jose Siri, but who would I rather have as a backup outfielder on this team? I like Siri's speed. I like his defense off the bench.
I just look at the intangibles that you bring to the table. Dubon doesn't look like he can hit his way out of a wet paper bag power-wise.
Yeah.
He's not a big average guy anyway, but in the outfield, he doesn't have the cannon that Siri has. You know what? I believe that,
But he can play some infield.
Yeah, he definitely, the versatility is in his favor, but in terms of defensive outfielder prowess and the things that Siri brings to the table with the speed and the ability to throw and the fact that defensively you can put him in late in games, and he's also been here longer. Both guys have been there, done that for over a year now, and I think Dusty's also a loyalty guy, and I think that Dubon just signing up and in the trade coming over, I think they feel like of the 3, he's the guy that would be the first to go. Hey, guys, back to the video in just 1 minute. Before that, I want to tell you about Fitz Roofing. Fitz Roofing is dedicated to the loyal people of Houston, Texas. That means if you got a leaky roof or need a full roof replacement on your business or your home, or you want to get something done around the yard or maybe something around the house, they have the best warranties in the business, the best ratings, and the best service. They're going to take care of you every step of the way. Fitz Roofing, making a difference, one home at a time.
What's amazing, I think I don't know who put this in there if I'm being honest with you, but the Astros have played 30 games this year where they've scored 3 or more runs. They've won 27 games where they've scored 3 or more runs. Like the magic number is 3. That's what it takes for this Houston Astros with this dominant rotation, with this dominant bullpen that yesterday went 5 shutout innings and again proved to be the best bullpen in all of Major League Baseball. All it takes is 3-1, 3 wins, Jeremy? 3 runs for this team to win.
With all that being said, though, I don't know how you feel about it, but when I watch these games, I do still have apprehension about them scoring runs and the fact that with all the offensive prowess that they have in the lineup and everything, it just seems like this year, unlike other years, they don't have those big innings. They don't have those big outbursts with the exception of the one game in Fenway. You know what? At some point, just start small balling a little bit just so that you get something out of it until you do break out and everybody starts getting hot. Because there are times that I'm still concerned about this offense putting a crooked number on the board.
Alex Bregman. Oh, boy.
You're killing him again, aren't you?
I haven't killed Alex Bregman. I've been more optimistic about Alex Bregman than anybody else.
You had 2 shovels of dirt on his coffin a week ago.
That was Yuli. I told you that
both of them.
No, absolutely not. I said that I'm happy with where I don't like his average, but I feel like Alex Bregman's about to have a huge couple of weeks. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, and he hasn't. But I was like, Bregman's not performing well, but I am encouraged that Alex Bregman's going to come out of it.
You kind of said, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I said he's never going to be 2018, 2019, 40 home run Bregman, but that's not burying the guy.
Never going to be top 5 MVP again.
No, that's I think that's a very realistic and reasonable thought. That doesn't mean that I think he's dead as a Major League Baseball player.
Well, I mean, so Yuli's dead.
Yeah, Yuli's
is
gone.
Bregman on life support, or where are you putting him?
No, I still think Bregman's going to bounce back and be fine. Alex Bregman's on base percentage still plays. Like Alex Bregman's still a productive
he leads
Major
the
League
league in
Baseball
walks.
player. Yeah,
So he gets on, yeah.
That matters. That's significant.
I told you the biggest concern I have with him is the guy has a laser for an eye at the plate. And lately, his strikeouts going up concerns me because, I think he's been hosed a lot on some calls early in counts. But nonetheless, it kind of looks like he's deflated every time he strikes out or makes an out now.
But you start to look at some of the numbers. In May, he hit 221 with a 708 OPS. That's not very good. On the year, 226 average, 744 OPS. That OPS actually still is not abysmal because of the high on-base percentage because he still walks a ton. But some of the splits are kind of concerning. He's a right-handed hitter, so you think, okay, righty's natural. He's going to be able to hit lefties well. He's got reverse splits. 172 average against lefties, 615 OPS against left-handed pitching. Against righties, it's actually really good. 262 average, 836 OPS, maybe good, not really good. His numbers on the road are also very bad. 186 average, 640 OPS. At home, 282 average, 887 OPS. So the splits are very weird as well. So long story short, I know I just threw a bunch of numbers at you. He's hitting lefties terribly. He's hitting righties well. He's doing terrible on the road. He's doing very well at home. When you break down the season that Alex Bregman is having, where do you stand on him just this season and then for the rest of his career? Because keep in mind, he's about to make some big money coming up with the extension that he signed.
Here's what, again, I start with the concerns of the strikeouts. That's the only, because he still has the eye. He's still, manipulating to get into a lot of walks, leading the league in walks, as we mentioned. And I think that a lot of it, I relate it back to like a guy coming off ACL surgery. They can play a year after the surgery, but do they get back to where they were pre-knee injury? It takes over a year. So we knew he wasn't healthy last year, and thankfully that was the case because there was a lot of people already willing to kind of mail it in on him for the way he played last season. This season, the one thing that's detrimental is he wins American League Player of the Week in week 1. So everybody thinks, oh, he's healthy. He's going to just have a breakout season. He's back, right? So now all of a sudden with this fall off again, people are going, well, was that just, a fluky 1 week? And is he going to come back? Is this where he's going to be the rest of his career? I don't think so. I kind of am in the camp of like an ACL surgery. I think he's coming back from these injuries. He's finding himself again now that he's healthy. It's going to take some time. I expect by All-Star break that the average is going to go up. I'd like to see the power numbers go up, but I don't believe that this is another guy that you're going to tell me is past their prime and on their way down like Altuve.
You don't think Bregman's past his prime?
I don't. I think he can still find it again.
I think he's way past his prime.
You could say prime, or he caught that 1 year where he caught the entire league by storm.
18 and 19, he was one of the best
hitters
in baseball.
But if you look at just how he levels off and where he should be as a Major League Baseball player, he's an above-average player. Obviously, like you mentioned, the money's coming. But I believe that maybe he won't be the 2019 Alex Bregman again. But I do believe that we will find an above-average third baseman that is going to be a very productive member of this offense.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, too. Like, I'm not giving up on Alex Bregman. And to be honest with you, with that contract coming up, like, I don't really think there's a great exit plan for Alex Bregman because with the numbers that he's putting up, which, mediocre, the on-base percentage plays, the average doesn't, the slugging doesn't. You hope they can figure that out. But he makes $28.5 next year. It's $30 million when you put in the signing bonus as well. So it's just over $30 million of what it's going to cost you on the average annual value, the AAV. So he's going to make around $30 million in 2023 next year, $30 million in 2024 the year after that. Then he's a free agent. But, no one's going to trade for Alex Bregman at $30 million for the next 2 seasons after this one with the lack of offensive prowess that he's giving you. So you're pretty much stuck with Alex Bregman, which I still think he's going to come. I think he's going to hit for more power than he's been hitting with, but I don't think it's going to be 18 or 19 numbers.
I don't like saying we're stuck with him because I think, the other thing, too, is that I think the numbers are going to level out.
I'll agree.
I just feel like he's going to be a productive member of your team. I think he's one of the leaders of this team. I think defensively, he's, again, above average. And I think that for when you got him and what you got him for, when you wrapped him up, I think you're fine. No one can predict when injuries happen, but I still believe we will see really good Alex Bregman, maybe not the best, if that's what you were saying.
I don't think he's an Astro after 2024, though.